welcome back to Tokyo Cheapo. I'm your host Patricia, and today we are exploring Nakano. I actually used to live in this area, so I'm really excited to walk around and visit the spots I used to visit. But for those of you who don't know, Nakano is actually in the west side of Tokyo, only about a 5-minute train ride from Shinjuku Station. They've got 3 different train lines, the Sobu line, Tozai line, and Chuo line, making it very accessible from different parts of Tokyo. Whether you're a foodie, otaku, or maybe just really like cameras, this place has a bunch of things for you, as you'll see later in the video. So without further ado, let's get on into it. As soon as you get out of the station from the north entrance, you'll notice you see the Sun Mall shotengai entrance. And this doesn't just apply to Nakano shotengai, but every time you see a shotengai in Japan, I recommend you just walk through it because it's basically a cluster of like stores and food and restaurants and whatnot. This one too. It's crazy because despite this being only a stop away from the busiest station, it still has this like suburban local feel that's completely different from like Shinjuku, Shibuya. So it feels a lot more local, quiet, calm. You can also go off to the side streets where you'll find like basically a network of different other streets. It kind of gets like a maze, pretty crazy, but I highly recommend you adventure into the smaller streets too. What I like about walking down this street is that they've got, the very commercialized big branches, but they also have like mom and pop shops, or they sell things that you wouldn't really find in bigger stations. See, this is why you gotta enter the stores. You can find cute little knickknacks like this. Much better than the souvenirs you can find at Sensoji. Just saying. Look! I'm pretty sure this is called a yunoni, and these make for great souvenirs because it's just like a cup. Everybody uses cups, right? But look, Japanese style cups. If you were to go to Kappabashi's Kitchen Street, which is really popular amongst tourists, these cost about like 600 yen, whereas here, 330. That's what I'm talking about. Go to where the locals shop to get the good deals. Do you guys know what this is? This is an inkan. Basically, you need this with your name on it to do anything official in Japan. Any official documents, this is your signature. Look how many last names there are. We just came across this cute stationery store that looks very much like a mom and pop store. Stationery in Japan is top tier, so stop by and grab some cute erasers. If you walk to the very end of the Sun Mall shotengai, you'll come across Nakano Broadway. So this is actually an anime and manga shopping complex that was, I think, opened in 1966 or something, but it still has that very retro, old feel to it, which I really like. Shall we check it out? Come with me. We're gonna start from the bottom floor to the top to keep things simple, but this is the basement floor. As you can see, it's got a very retro vibe, and this is where you'll find a lot of the local obachans shop for their food or snacks, and this is where you'll get the pretty good deals. I actually have been to this store before to get all my Chinese snacks, so if you're into like Southeast Asian or Chinese snacks, you can find that there too. And there's a really cool ice cream that is multi-flavored. Can we go? Yes. Here it is. I got the small size. Can you believe in Japan, small sizes aren't this big? So basically I got the strawberry, matcha, and melon flavor. So they've got 3 sizes, small, medium, and extra large. They don't have a large. But what's cool is even if you get the small, which is what I got, you can choose 3 flavors. So you can try different flavors without getting the huge one. If you were brave enough and were able to try the extra large, leave a comment to let us know. Itadakimasu. Very nice, very creamy. Honestly, you would think with a fun color like this, it wouldn't be very creamy. I would think it's kind of like icy, not good quality, especially because they're really popular, but it's really nice. 10 out of 10. Although I don't know if I can finish this on my own.
No, you're gonna finish that. I don't do dairy.
Oh my God. It's one of the few viral content food pieces or food that is actually worth trying. I think it's worth it. It's affordable. You can try different flavors. Tastes good. Why not? Maybe share. I want to tap out.
You look like you're struggling.
Definitely share, you guys. I genuinely respect you if you can eat the extra large. Even the show size. I respect you. We're here on the first floor where they've got a bunch of just random stores like clothes stores, secondhand stores, watch stores, food stores, and even an arcade. But when you come to Nakano Broadway, you're probably here for the things that are in the floors above. This is is the place that you've been looking for. They've got everything from anime, figurines, manga, and probably the coolest store in this complex. This is the store. It's called Havikoro Toy, and they've got different things like badges or figurines, and my favorite part, gacha toys. So you can get obviously like capsule things like we have right next to the store, but this is kind of like luck. Whereas here, you know exactly what you're getting. Of course, the prices are a little bit marked higher, so I think it's worth the price. They do have stores like this in Akihabara too, but for example, I found this Metro light up keychain, and the same exact keychain that they were selling here for 1,500 was 6,000 yen in Akihabara. So that just goes to show, you gotta shop where the locals shop. I wasn't sure if I was gonna find anything I like, but we were looking around and there were like these live, I don't know, like a tofu that looks like it's living, or like a sausage that's like dancing or whatever. But I actually ended up finding this baki-baki nickel. Baki-baki basically means something like strong, muscular, bulky. And so it's a bulky maneki nickel. I've never seen anything like this before, but my first reaction was like, it's so cute. And Shah's like, cute? It's cute.
I question your definition of cute.
Once you come to the 4th floor, you have officially entered the Showa era area. Right behind me, we have the Mandarake, but there's a frickin' torii gate in front of the store. Look, I've actually never seen this before, even though I've walked past this corridor before. So a little bit of background behind Mandarake in general is this complex actually has 26 different Mandarake stores, all in this one building. A lot of people go to Akihabara to get their anime or manga stuff, but honestly, if you want to avoid the crowds, inflated prices, or just all the tourists, come here. You can get a lot more shopping done with a shorter period of time because you're not fighting with other people to try to get things, and also it's all in one building. I will say it's pretty easy to get lost here because there's just like endless corridors and all the store names are Mandarake, so it's pretty hard to find your way back. But I would say just take your time, look around the stores. Not every store is the same, so you might find different things at different stores, but yeah, maybe you'll have something or find something that interests you. If you like trading cards, come to the 2nd floor where they have the Mandarake card shop, and then all the other card shops should be around it because it's pretty confusing to get around. But look what I did. I have made a purchase. So I basically, as soon as I walked into the store and saw these trading cards, I was like, I got to find Love and Berry. I'm like, do you know Love and Berry? Shah, you know Love and Berry? And I've basically been locked for the past 30 minutes.
What is a love and berry?
What is a Love and Berry?
What is it? I've never had a love and berry.
It's a Japanese card game. You like dance and stuff. So I need to know, do you guys know what this is? This is a little bit of a collab, so I don't know who the other character is, but this is my entire childhood. So if you know what Love and Berry is, please comment down below. Respect. So if I was able to find this, whatever trading card obsession you have, they've probably got it because they had a lot of options. Another thing you can find on this floor are anime cels. They have black and white ones or colored in ones, and this might spark some nostalgia for some of you. Very cool. I wonder what the most expensive one is. I'm seeing 3,000, 6,000. Okay, so it varies.
There was the certificated one as well.
How much was that?
There are hundreds of things to see, eat, or do around Nakano, let alone all of Tokyo, and we know planning can get overwhelming. So if you need some help, Klook has you covered. Booking things in Japan can normally be quite difficult, but you'll be able to browse through activities all across Japan in your home language and easily use your international credit card to book those memorable moments you're looking for. Want to try some local bars? How about some guided bar hopping? If traditional activities are your thing, then why not try some kintsugi or a tea ceremony experience? If you're a subculture fan or an otaku, there's something for you too. Klook has regular flash sales and seasonal discounts, so it's a good idea to keep an eye out for those on their website. Check out the link in the description below to get started straight away on planning and booking your tickets on your PC or phone.
So we're here in front of Fujiya Camera, and there's actually a store here, and then right across the street there's another Fujiya Camera, and each of them have 2 floors. But basically, you've probably heard of Fujiya Camera on maybe like a camera guide or places to buy camera gear, video gear, whatever, but it's often overlooked. They've got both used and new stuff, and it's usually more affordable than the places or things that you can find in like Shibuya, Shinjuku, Ginza. So I think that it's actually worth coming all the way out to Nakano just to pick up a few things. I actually get my gear from here because it's closer to where I live, but also they have a lot of small, really random parts that sometimes like you need for your tripod. Lens caps, filters, backpacks. I actually have a backpack from Fujiya Camera, and all the locals, they come shop here. I think Shah, you've come here before, right?
Yeah, all my friends did. For me, my my friends, like if we need something, it's usually Fujiya is like the first thought usually.
Yeah, so go to where the locals go. What? Joshi ramen? A ramen for ladies? Okay, this would never pass in the Western world. Joshi ramen. Welcome to Central Park. No, actually not really. It's Nakano Central Park, but close enough. What I really like about this park is it's really close to the station. The station's right there, and it's a nice little pocket of greenery, nice nature, right by where we just were with a different vibe. I see a lot of like kids and office workers here, so it's a nice little getaway. And Shaw's gonna get so mad at me for saying this, but I used to come to this Starbucks, grab a cup of coffee, and sit here. So yeah, it brings back a lot of memories too.
I guess Nakano doesn't have any good coffee spots, does it?
Or I'm just not picky enough. I used to live between Koenji and Nakano, and Koenji is actually the next station. It's right around the corner, has those local vibes. We actually made another video on that in the past with yours truly, so check that out for more local vibes. This park also holds like seasonal events sometimes, one of them being the Nakano Bon Odori. And what's cool about this one is that they have the Bon Odori on a main stage with like live performances, acts, and even DJs. So if you want something new with the Bon Odori, then come here. A question/comment that we saw on our recent video is that it's been really disheartening to see people say, don't come to Japan when it's July and August, but that's really to do with the weather. It can be really hot, humid, and sticky, but there's still a lot of great events and things that you can do. If you want that summer experience with the festivals and the liveliness, then you can still come during those months. Just stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, you guys, because Japan's heat stroke and Japan's heat level is on a different level. We're right here in front of Renga Zaka, which is our next spot, but the reason why we're not actually inside while we're introducing this is because Celine Dion is in the back belting her heart out, so we're gonna have to do it in front. But this is actually on the southern entrance side of Nakano Station, and as you can tell, it's got a very different vibe. It's a lot more European-esque, as you can see. It's got a lot of like Italian restaurants, French restaurants, and some izakayas, but this is a little bit more of a quiet vibe. If you want a more like upscale vibe, you would come here. There's also a restaurant called Vivo Daily Stand, and I've been there several times. I really like the deal that they have. You can get 2 drinks in one deli, or 1 deli and 2 drinks for 1,500-ish, which is really good. I don't think there's a service charge. Check the website, please. But it's a great deal. We've just walked into this store called Aonisai, which is in the Renga Zaka street, and we've got a bunch of different finger foods. Let me start by introducing the first thing, which is actually an otoshi. In case you don't know, otoshi is basically like paying a tip, but you're getting some sort of food or little dish in return. We've got what Shaw wanted to come here for, which is the corn tempura. Okay, you guys have probably heard about tempura before, but it's really rare to find corn tempura. Japan loves their corn. You've got corn drinks, corn soda, and apparently corn tempura. So I'm really excited to try all of these. Which one are you most excited to try? Corn. There you go. That's really good. You would not think to put corn into a deep fryer, but it's so sweet. The outer layer is savory because they add like salt to it. You're not gonna find corn tempura in every place that you go, which is why it's special, rare. This is the first time I'm seeing this, but you've probably heard of chicken nambang, but I've never seen shiitake nambang. I guess it's now vegetarian. I'm excited. Oh my god, it's really nice. A little junky, very creamy, chewy, lots of textures, but I think they use like smoked mayo. Go in. You can't see, but Shaw's over here like. This gyusuji, they actually have a big pot right by the counter, so it's been stewing for hours, I'm sure. In case you don't know, gyusuji nikomi is basically beef tendon stew, and this one has like lotus root, lots of different veggies. This is a very classic otsumami food, or things that you have with alcohol. Oh, that slaps. Nice and tender because it's been stewed for hours. Even this, I don't think it's a lotus root, sorry. Renkon, burdock.
Renkon isn't lotus root.
Lotus root, okay.
Gobo is burdock. And you say you grew up in Japan. Don't trust what she says.
Stop calling me out.
That's my job. I'm a fact checker. I have to check the window. What you say.
That's true. Another thing, Japan loves their nagaimo or yamaimo, and we had this nagaimo dish. It was basically a like yam and soaked in soy sauce. So nice and flavorful. And usually this yam is very slimy and sticky, which Japan loves these kind of stuff. But this one was surprisingly kind of put together, basically. It was chopped up and presented really nicely, and it paired really well with the wasabi. So I think when you're coming to Japan, yes, go to the izakayas, have a couple drinks, but while you're having the drinks, make sure you order some food. When the sun sets and the lights turn on, Nakano has a very different energy. It's got this kind of like buzz, there's bustling bars, izakayas, restaurants, and you can feel the genuine energy from the locals, especially when you go down these side streets. When you're in somewhere like Shinjuku, which is only like 2 stops away, it's kind of like tourist heavy. They've got like, you know, inflated prices, the signs, the way that people talk to you is a little different, whereas when you walk down these streets, you can feel like it's really got this like local feel to it. It's not overly touristy, there's no flashy signs luring you in. It's genuine. It's like people calling you in saying, 2時間980円 for 飲み放題. It's like, it's got that real local buzz. And that's why it's actually a really popular place to live, especially on this west side, like, you know, Asagaya, Ogikubo Koenji, Nakano. These stations are really close to central Tokyo, but got this vibe. We were walking down the streets and there's a lot of standing bars, and this one lured me in with their craft beers. This one I got is the Yuzu Lager. Oh my god, I'm gonna get canceled. Yuzu Lager. So I'm pretty sure this is a Japanese one. Kanpai! Otsukaresama desu. Nice cold beer. At the end of the day, hits. Also, something that you can say at the end of the day to your coworkers or your friends is "Otsukaresama." Kind of just shows like, good job for doing all the work, you know, finish the day, good job. How would you translate "Otsukaresama"?
There's no way to translate.
There's no way.
You just have to learn Japanese.
Yeah, there you go. So next time, learn Japanese.
Yeah.
You can probably tell, but this area, especially in the back streets of Nakano, it's got this really like vibey, it's not too busy, but there's things going on. It kind of feels like each bar lures you in, which is, this is what happened. And with that note, like we covered a lot of places today, showed you guys that this spot, Nakano, is very underrated. It's basically got the energy and the character of a lot of busier stations or more popular stations, but it's not as busy, it's not as chaotic, it's not as annoying, and there's a lot more locals than there are tourists, which is a good sign. And there's more to Nakano than just the anime or otaku culture, so you gotta come and see for yourself. I'm gonna finish my beer, but let us know what your favorite part of the video was. Is there another station that you would want us to cover in a future video? Let us know in the comments, but without further ado, kanpai, and I'll see you in the next one.